Good morning. Here we are again, day 2 of my short video clips that I want to start doing daily, related to anxiety disorders, related to parenting, related to getting better, more than just coping, and so I'll talk about that a little bit more. The theme of what I want to talk about is talking less about anxiety and behaving differently, and then also following our mantra, which is fight fear, find freedom. Do one thing every day that scares you is something I try and live by. And I talked about that a little bit yesterday, of doing just something differently. There are so many things that I want to talk about, and I'm really excited to do this because I spend my week helping people that struggle with anxiety disorder. So I'm the co-director of Northwest Anxiety Institute in Portland, Oregon, and I specialize in cognitive behavioral therapy, specifically exposure response prevention, which is the gold standard treatment for anxiety disorders. And so I wanted to create this kind of video blog daily to help provide information that I give out every single day to people. And sometimes just that psychoeducational piece is really, really helpful because there's a lot of misunderstanding about how to treat anxiety, even within the mental health field. So with that said, I want to keep these short, and that's going to be tough to do because there is so much to say. So today I want to talk about panic attacks. A lot of people struggle with panic attacks. They're absolutely debilitating. They're awful. If you've never had one, you're quite lucky. If you have, hang in there. I really, really do understand how awful they are. But having a panic attack is not necessarily having panic disorder, and differentiating the two is important because we would treat them differently. Panic attacks can happen with lots of different things. You can have social anxiety, for example, and be asked to give a presentation and have a panic attack in response to that. You can be scared of snakes and be presented with a snake and have a panic attack in response to that. Panic disorder is really having uncued panic attacks, meaning they come out of the blue. They're intense. This intense physiological sensation happens. Heart starts beating fast. People's minds start racing, and really a diagnostic criteria. People feel like they're going crazy. Many people go to the emergency room several times before they come to therapy because their body is telling them there's something seriously going wrong. So the best way people manage this. Oh, let me jump back. So the other key feature of that is anticipation and fear of another attack. So we're talking about fear of fear. I'm worried I'm going to have another attack, and then people make associations. So if I had an attack at Target or Winco or the mall, I don't go there anymore. If I had it on the freeway, I try to avoid that. And so this pattern of avoidance is really what maintains panic over time. What we do at Northwest Anxiety Institute, and the gold standard treatment for this is to help people lean into their panic, is to do something scary. And so what many people do is they try and mitigate their panic by comforting themselves. And so many people, and there's blogs and lists and things all over the internet about how to manage panic, and what it is about is soothe and smooth. That's not what we want to do. Drinking tea, cuddling, taking baths, praying, reading, whatever it is. What you're often doing is just distracting yourself until the panic attack is over, and then still being very, very fearful of that panic attack. And so the number one way to do it is to recognize that this is just a physiological reaction. If you struggle with panic attacks, you have probably had more than one. And one question I often ask my patients is, despite all the panic attacks you've had, how many times have you died? And they look at me like, of course, Kevin, none. But this is important because every time we anticipate having a panic attack or worry about having a panic attack, we believe this is going to be the one that kills us. We believe this is going to be the one that makes that we can't control, or that this is the one where the catastrophe really does happen. We really will faint or embarrass ourselves or go crazy or have a heart attack. And yet there's no evidence to support that physiologically. So the intensity of panic is your physiology kicking up a fuss to protect you from an evolutionary standpoint, to put you in that fight or flight mode. Every time you do a coping behavior in response to that, you are in fact maintaining the idea that yes, you should have been in that fight or flight mode, that the thing that likely triggered that panic is scary. So what we do is we want people to go like this: bring it on. Look for that panic attack. Be curious about it. And if you struggle with panic, spend a little bit of time today and see if you can kind of encourage those symptoms a little bit. I always think I love Forrest Gump. It's probably my favorite movie. And when Lieutenant Dan is on the boat and he's up on the ship with his hands out and there's a huge storm and he's just embracing that storm, that is really how I want people to envision how to get over panic. Because once you look for panic, you can't find it anywhere. Once you look around the corners, hoping you don't bump into it, it's everywhere. And then your tolerance to your physiology gets lower and lower and lower. So every blip on the radar, you worry about another attack. And being mindful of the time, I've already talked for 5 minutes. I want to keep these short. I'm going to do another one tomorrow. I will follow up about the panic tomorrow, about really what you can do about it and some very specific things that will help you over time maintain it. They won't soothe and smooth it in the moment. It's miserable. But you're already miserable if you're struggling with panic. You may as well be miserable on purpose to overcome it, and so you don't have to worry about it. Once you don't care that it comes, it just won't come anymore. So I will follow up tomorrow with that. If you like this and this is interesting to you, please share this. Please subscribe on YouTube. Ask me questions on YouTube. My email is kevin@nwanxiety.com. You can go to Northwest Anxiety Institute Facebook page. We will be posting these on there. And so I really hope to be able to create a series of information that is going to relate to OCD, panic disorder, social anxiety, parenting anxious kids, setting expectations for children, helping kids manage avoidance, and all those kind of things. So thank you so much. Do something today that scares you. Think about what that is. Commit to it. And it doesn't matter if it's just a tiny, tiny bit more than you did yesterday. Because it all adds up. Thanks so much. And I'll be back tomorrow.